For those in the Twitch stream or those watching the replay on the YouTube channel, this is your boy Flock, and this is the Triple Threat Sports Podcast. This is the Super Bowl. What number is the Super Bowl, man?
51.
51.
What your name
bro.
is, nigga?
I forgot that quick, man.
L.I.
Yo. I
Yeah,
get
we on
hungry,
51.
man. I don't think
Ain't the title of the stream?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, yeah, you
it
got
is.
Super Bowl LI.
Yeah. I wasn't looking at it, man. I wasn't even looking at it. All right, but anywho, yo, this your boy Flock, man. I'm hosting. I'm running it this time, man. And well, I can't say to my left. I say because it's three other people in here. We got Siggy Guns in here. Say what up to the people.
What up? What up?
Got Ace of All Trades. Say what up to the people.
What's good?
And then we got the homie. We got the cousin of the Sport Podcast back with us yet again. UTX JG the Don. Say what up.
What up, what up?
All right, so y'all already know, man. This is the biggest sports spectacle in the world. I don't care what anybody says about World Cup and all that shit. Super Bowl is the shit. We all know that. I mean, we know soccer is the biggest sport in the world, but this is the biggest event. I'll say that. This is definitely the biggest event. A lot of money being made. You know what I mean? When the Super Bowl hits. So
Yep, a lot of sports bets,
Yeah, a lot of that. So we got the Atlanta Falcons going up against the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. And before anybody throw this shit in my face, yes, I said the Falcons wasn't gonna do shit. Yes, I did say that. So y'all can't.
We
blame
all
it.
did,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, we all said it. I know some people in the last they did when I wasn't around because I was sick. They kind of went at JG, but it was me that actually said it. That was like, the Falcons gonna lose the first game they play and stuff like that. So, I'll admit, I was wrong on that one, but I will say this: they still gonna get their ass beat. So,
I want to know
boy.
what Falcon fans. When did they change from?
right? So all you Fairweather Falcon fans that came out the woodworks, Atlanta, y'all don't support y'all teams until they start winning. Just like Miami, y'all don't support y'all teams until they start winning either. So don't try to throw no shit in my face because you couldn't tell me 4 people on your team. So
Damn.
so let's not go there because them seats
When
empty.
did the Falcons go to rise up after the Dirty Bird? Because I remember the Dirty Bird back then. What happened to that?
I think Rise Up has been like that for like the past maybe a couple of years.
Why?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. You tell me. The Dirty Bird was popular back when they had Freaknik and all that stuff.
You know when it was popular? When they were winning. The last time they were winning. That's what I said.
Yeah,
the
with
last
Vic.
time they had a good team in '98 when they went to the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
When they beat the Vikings to get there, man, that was.
Yep. So yeah, you know how it goes. So we'll go around the horn, man, real quick, around the table. I don't want no copyright. Nobody coming at us saying we stealing nobody's format. We'll go around the table. I'll start with Ace. We'll start with Ace. Ace, give me your prediction and why do you think that team is going to win? So we just gonna get quick and to the point, man. We're not gonna talk y'all heads off out here today.
I mean, honestly, the way the Atlanta Falcons played against the Green Bay Packers really showed a lot. Off at Matty Ice out here putting in work. I can't honestly say that New England's going to come into the Super Bowl and just run them over and it's just going to be an easy Super Bowl win. I believe it's going to be close, and I do believe it's going to go down to the last drive. I mean, let alone when New England won the latest year, they got it off of a bullshit pick when they should have ran it with Marshawn Lynch. So I feel like this Super Bowl for them is going to be a close game, and I actually have the Patriots winning by 3.
That it?
Yeah, I think I got them winning by 3.
I
don't think it's.
All right, so let me get this right. You said
be a
the
field
Falcons
goal.
are impressive. They beat the Packers. They did all this, and the Patriots are not going to be that good. That they're lucky, but you still got them winning. Is that what you're saying?
I actually still have them winning. I feel like Tom Brady's gonna get his next Super Bowl. I feel like he's gonna solidify himself even more. Even though I think he's a bitch. I mean, at the end of the day, he's still a great quarterback, and I can't deny that. But
He's the GOAT.
he can't be the GOAT to me because he's a little baby back bitch. I mean, anytime he gets touched or anything like that, he expects a flag to be down. But at the end of the day, like I said, as an athlete, I mean, and as a quarterback, he makes amazing decisions and everything like that. And he makes the team around him great, which is why I can see New England still winning this. Like, that's the whole purpose of being an amazing quarterback, is because the fact that you'll make, no matter who your teammates are, better, and that is something that he can do. I mean, it would be great for Atlanta to get another Super Bowl. I definitely do think they deserve it. They've been busting their ass the entire season. It'd be cool to see Julio Jones get a Super Bowl for himself and Dwight Freeney. Shout out to him, Q's alumni. But I just think at the end of the day, New England's going to come out and win. It's going to be close. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good game.
Alrighty. Siggy, what's your thoughts, man?
Look, I've been saying it from the beginning of the year. That Deflategate stuff, Brady being suspended, they all want to rub it in Goodell's face. I think the Falcons have a very good team, but no, I don't see it being close at all. I think the Patriots are going to go in there and steamroll them. I think what we've seen is the Packers' horrible defense is why the Falcons look great. Now, don't get me wrong. We saw them beat Seattle pretty convincingly also, but Seattle's always been a good defensive team at home all the time. It's on the road, that's when they're beatable. So I can't even say that was great defense by the Seahawks. So that the Falcons were facing. So I do think that they have a very good team. Don't get me wrong. Matt Ryan is somebody that usually falls under pressure. It's bound to happen. It hasn't happened yet. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen in the Super Bowl. I just think the Patriots are built better. I think they have an all-around team, defense and offense. You can't say the same about the Falcons. They have a great running game. They have a great offense, but they have no defense either. So I just think if you're just looking at it like that, the Patriots should win easily. I say 14 points minimum.
So you saying it's going to be like how it was? Remember the Tampa Bay Raider game, and like everyone thought that the Raiders were going to win it.
Who thought that? Who thought that? Only a fool thought that the Raiders was going to win that.
That's what I'm saying. You think that's what's going to happen with the Falcons? There's going to be a blowout.
No, I just think the Patriots have. I mean, you don't need Tom Brady to have a chip on his shoulder or anything like that, or extra motivation, but he has that now. I mean,
True.
This is somebody that has been casual, laid back, and now he's making commercials, taking digs at Roger Goodell, and Kraft has been still chirping about it, and Belichick has been chirping about it. I mean, this is all three of those guys mad about it. They're gonna make sure that Goodell hands them the trophy in the podium. I just think that's the ultimate goal in the end, and I think they might all retire after that.
You could go back. You can go back to one of the older Triple Threat podcasts we did when we were talking about him being suspended for 4 games. The first thing I said was, I'm like, it really doesn't matter. They still gonna end up in a Super Bowl. I said that.
Yeah.
Like, they still gonna end up in a Super Bowl. Nobody's gonna beat them in the AFC. So, all right. Davidson, JG, what you think, bruh?
Well, I mean, I was wrong about the Falcons and the Packers. I couldn't bet against Aaron Rodgers, but he got destroyed in that. So Falcons did at least show a little bit of defense there. Looking on paper as far as like big names, obviously like the Patriots have a lot of playmakers that Brady just makes look amazing, and they've always been a team that has a lot of good weapons that are good after the catch. So as soon as they catch the ball, like, they're going to get yards regardless. But as far as big names, and like I was saying, even though I rooted against the Falcons, against the Packers, I feel like it all comes down to 2 things. Definitely the Falcons running back and Julio Jones. And the only thing that's really stopping Julio Jones is himself. He's been injured. He's had those toe problems, especially the entire year. So if Julio is actually ready, which he says he is, I still don't know if he's going to be 100%. But I feel like if Julio Jones can make an impact on his game, it's going to be hard. But still, with that being said, I'm going to have to go against the Falcons again. Just realistically, I will never ever root for the Patriots to win. Never ever in my life. But just being realistic, I think that the Patriots are going to come out with this one. And like you all mentioned already, it's just too many things on the Patriots side that it just seems like it's going to go that way. Like all these news rumors and everything else just about Goodell, and I'm tired of hearing about it, to be honest. But it's just going to happen. I just think that Goodell is going to hand the Patriots the the trophy again, and Tom Brady's gonna come out on top. Even though I don't know why any Patriots fans were worried, because I even said that same thing. I was like, so what if he's going to be suspended 4 games? He's still going to come out. Y'all still going to be good. Like, it's AFC East. Come on now. Like, the AFC East is bad. So I wouldn't expecting them to be hurt in any way, shape, or form. And just think if they had Gronk still. Like, if they had Gronk, it would definitely be no contest. But even without him, you got freaking Martellus Bennett. So, like, the Patriots are still good. And I still don't think it's going to be a blowout. I would say they will win by at least a touchdown. I'm not going to say 14. I would say at least a touchdown.
I'm going to go 14 still.
All right. Kind of touch on Ace. What did you call Tom Brady?
A baby back bitch.
Okay.
He stole that from you when you talk about marriage.
Yeah, I know, but
I ain't stealing that.
I didn't call Miritich that. I called him something, but I don't think I called him that. It don't matter. Miritich. I call him Mirror Bitch. And Siggy called him the GOAT. I won't go that far. I still say Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback ever. That's just my personal opinion. But I will say this: nobody has done more with less than Tom Brady has. I mean, you think of all the players that rotates in and out. You know, the lineup. I mean, his best target hasn't even played in weeks, and he still find a way. And even defensively, man, they're not the greatest defensive team, but they always find a way to, you know, come with some scheme to, you know, you might get them once or twice, but you're not gonna do anything major to, you know, to really knock them off lately. And the only couple times they lost twice in the Super Bowl, and both times was the Eli, right?
Giant.
And it wasn't so much what the Giants offense did to them, it was more so what the Giants defense did to them. That front four that the Giants defense had, they just messed up, you know, Tom Brady's timing. So that's the reason why they lost. And also,
and both times they needed a miracle drive too,
right.
If you think about it.
Yeah, so it was always, they were close games, so it was nothing like, you know, like a real like defining defeat that they took in the Super Bowl. So I mean, they always find ways to win. I'm not a New England Patriots fan by no stretch, but I am a fan of Tom Brady and what he does. And for somebody to say he's a system quarterback, I'm like, come on, fam. You still got to go out there and make shit happen, regardless of the system.
He makes.
Yeah, you still got to go out there. Yeah, you still got to go out there and make it happen. So I don't think that Atlanta has you know, that much of a chance of beating them. I want to say it's not going to be even close, but I mean, Atlanta has proved me wrong before, so I'll just say that Patriots going to win this game. As much as we all hate and get tired of seeing the Patriots win, you know, you just get tired of seeing it, and I think it's going to be interesting to see if that happens, how uncomfortable that's going to look with Goodell up there handing them that trophy. Everybody wants to see that because I think people hate Roger Goodell more than they hate the Patriots. So they're gonna want to see him have to go up there and swallow his pride and hand that trophy over to them, to, you know, Robert Kraft and the Patriots and Belichick and all of them, and see that look on his face. Get the memes ready. So I feel like the Patriots is gonna win, but I mean, you never know, man. We said this before, and the team that you least expected to win end up, you know, can win the game. But I don't think Atlanta has that big of a shot. I think the stage is gonna be a little too much for them right now.
True.
Matty Ice will show up eventually. The real Matty Ice.
Mighty Ice.
No,
the Matty Ice that choked.
I got another point I want to make. We throw like greatest and all this other stuff. We got to think about it, man. In this age of NFL football, the defenses are not nearly as good as they used to be.
Yeah, but you got to remember too that this is a free agent era. It's not the dynasty era. I mean, don't get me wrong. Just think about it like this: if there was free agency and all these players can get paid, you don't think Jerry Rice would have taken an offer from Jerry Jones at that time for the biggest contract ever, and maybe not even have, you know,
and to have Troy Aikman as your quarterback instead of Joe Montana? Hell,
I mean,
there could
have been so many things that could have happened in that era if there was free agency.
Bro,
that's the reason why.
I'm a wide receiver. I'm going where Joe go. That's all I'm saying.
That's why I still think Tom Brady. That's why I think Tom Brady has finally proven himself to be the greatest. Not only because he's doing it now, even at this age of 40, whatever he is now, but also he's been doing it in the free agent era, which is a lot tougher than. I mean, you got to remember all these players that become really, really good just leave for more money in the end. They always do, it seems. And the Patriots never had that big name guy except for Moss on a trade. I mean, aside from everybody else, it was all draft, and they're all brought up. I mean, who would have thought Troy Brown would be anything good? Who would have thought Ronnie? Who would have thought all these guys that everybody threw away too, like Corey Dillon and everybody, would just become good? I mean, that Patriots team just makes you better. The only person that really failed was Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. That's the only one I can think
boy, wanting the ball, you not working with the system, and you had to go.
Yeah, you can't work within their system, man. You out of there.
I think he was too comfortable in Cincinnati. He really relied on Palmer just throwing it to him. He didn't. Of course. He could tell Ocho Cinco didn't study nothing.
I don't know, man. It was just that San Francisco 49ers, yo.
But that was dying. I mean, they got all drafted, and that was, like I said, even with the Cowboys too, same thing. That was on the tail end. They were just, it was just a perfect situation for them to become great because they were all together, and there was nowhere they can go. There was nowhere they can go.
I could kind of see what you're saying, because maybe if he did go to Dallas and make all that money, maybe he wouldn't be subjecting himself to making Popeye's chicken commercials and shit like that. So,
freaking cooning
out.
Who knows? Man,
you lost your status.
Right, you might be on to something there, Siggy. You might be on to something there.
We can talk about that on the next show.
That's another topic for another day. All right, we're going to switch gears away from the Super Bowl right now. Let's talk about this Charles Barkley versus LeBron James deal, man. Now,
I've been wanting to talk about this for a while.
It's come and gone. We didn't get a chance to talk. We actually meant to do this a couple days ago, but scheduling conflicts kind of prevented us from doing it. Charles Barkley versus LeBron James. In a nutshell, Barkley went on record saying that, he's whining and stuff like that. You got a championship team. You just won an NBA title. How many more players do you want? Does he want to play with all the good players? Does he not want to compete? I think that line right there, everything else he was cool with, but saying, does he not want to compete, touched the nerve. And if you are a player, if you are a competitor in any field, trust me, I know this. For someone to question your, competitiveness, or it's basically questioning your heart. And I could see why LeBron kind of got pissed about it. But my thing is, LeBron's response was all personal. It was nothing that he said about, Charles Barkley's play, him not winning a championship, him not being in shape in order to do that, and all this other stuff. All the stuff that he said was personal. Excuse me. He went on record by talking about, having unpaid gambling debts in Vegas, and him, spitting on a kid, him making commercials saying he's not a role model, him getting into fights and bars and stuff like that. All the stuff that he said was personal. And did LeBron go too far? I actually got a video up on this on YouTube too, so y'all make sure y'all go check that out after y'all finish up in here. Going more in depth about it. Shameless plug. I don't give a fuck. My stream. But
all right.
But so everything LeBron did is said he attacked the man personal, and me personally, I'll let everybody else go. I'll just say this real quickly because I talked about this before. I feel like LeBron was wrong for attacking him personally. He wasn't wrong for going at him. He was just wrong for attacking him personally. And Barkley actually responded to it, said that a lot of that shit is true. He went on record saying, I never attack players personally. I talk about your play, and I talk about the stuff that you're doing if you're not doing something well. So we'll start with JG. Jay.
Oh yeah.
What's your thoughts on this, fam?
All right, so the answer to your question is yes, I do feel like LeBron went too far, because when you're talking about personal stuff, it's kind of like we see with YouTube beefs and stuff. Like, we're talking about video games, but all of a sudden it gets personal. It's kind of the same situation here. But at the same time, I felt like this was LeBron's breaking point. LeBron has pretty much stayed quiet about any analyst. Any network saying anything about him. You can't really say anything bad about LeBron. Like, LeBron has pretty much stayed neutral about everything, or you may hear a couple of things here and there about the Cavs, mostly about how he's kind of wanting to assume the role of a coach and a GM at the same time, but still really nothing has come out in the media about anything bad that he said or done until now. Again, that was wrong, but I just felt like this was an instant reaction. He was like, all right, you know what? Again, when you're talking about me competing, forget about anything else that you're talking about. But when you mention that you went too far now, Charles Barkley. But what I want to point out is is when they talked about it again, and Shaq got into it, because Shaq said,
I saw that shit.
Shaq said
I like Charles. I like Charles' response with the fighting thing.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro, that shit was perfect, bro.
So
That shit was perfect.
So Shaq was like, it's actually I would have got mad too, hearing that from you. He said I would have punched you in your face.
Yeah.
And Charles Barkley said, first of all, you can't fight.
First of all, he said, first of all, you're not a good fighter.
You're not a good fighter.
Then he just went right into what he was saying, like,
though.
right. First of all, you're not a good fighter.
And then they played a clip. They actually played a clip of Shaq and Charles Barkley fighting, and Shaq did punch him, and it was funny because I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, bro.
But that was hilarious. But Shaq was pretty much on LeBron's side. He was like, "Look, I wouldn't suck that either." He's like, "You said it about me, I would have punched you in your face." So I mean, again, you see somebody else who kind of feels the same way, and at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, Charles Barkley, you didn't win any championships. So if you want to talk about competing, you didn't compete hard enough, obviously, if you didn't win anything out of it. At least LeBron did win something. But going to the point of why this
Charles could easily come back and say, "Hey, I didn't leave. I didn't chase for my championship."
I mean, everybody said that. Everybody can say that. But yeah, going to that of having people around him. Again, I feel like LeBron is just frustrated because they don't have a backup point guard anymore. I don't think that LeBron necessarily wants to play with all of the big players. He just wants someone to help Kyrie Irving out. And last year they had that with Dellavedova. I feel like they should have never gave Dellavedova away.
They definitely not.
But they couldn't afford to pay him because they overpaid.
But they should have.
Yeah,
they should have.
Like
Everybody else.
Yep. Like
and Tristan Thompson. Yeah. So they were spending their money.
Who co-signed for all these signings? Because
it was LeBron.
It was LeBron. It was LeBron.
Because Cleveland was gonna let Shumpert walk. Cleveland was gonna let either Shumpert or Smith
and
walk.
J.R. Smith.
Yeah, he was gonna let one or two of them both walk. Same thing with Tristan Thompson. And it's like, cause I'm like, why would you pay Tristan Thompson all his money? You got Kevin Love playing in the same position.
Exactly.
Yeah, like he wants to keep everybody.
Video. That's why I'm just not saying anything else.
Yeah, it's like I understand that. I understand, but at the end of the day, you still need a backup at that position. So, they did mess up with all of the moves that they ended up making.
The reason why Dellavedova left was because they didn't match Milwaukee's offer. Because, he was a restricted free agent. They offered him, I don't know how much exactly because I'm not checking for Dellavedova or whatever. But however it was, they offered him. Cleveland could have matched it, and he could have just had to stay with the team. He didn't really speak up for Dellavedova like he did everybody else.
No,
so
not at all. He spoke up. He spoke up for Jefferson.
I'm like, really, man? I'm like, that's who that series when they played the Bulls and beat the Bulls in that series where the Bulls should have won. You know what I mean? Because they was up in the third and at the end of the third quarter, and they could have went up 3-1 on them. And LeBron hit that game-winning shot. That right there, Dellavedova was outplaying Rose that whole series. So that should have showed you, man. Like,
Delly was an X factor, dog. I'm sorry, but even though they did lose in 2015, Dellavedova was kind of locking up Curry. So he was like I'm saying, like Dellavedova is a good defensive presence. So I felt like I was surprised myself when they actually let him go. And then they ended up getting Korver, because J.R. Smith was hurt. But I felt like y'all should have just let Shumpert play that position because Shumpert is now, he's kind of emerging again. But Korver doesn't work with that system either. So I felt like that was another dumb trade. But I felt like they kind of got nervous because they didn't know when JR was going to be back. But that wasn't the position that y'all needed. Y'all need a point guard. And there are all point guards on the block. Like rumors saying that Darren Williams, if he gets healthy, he might come over. But like y'all still need that position at the end of the day. So again, going back to what you're saying, like LeBron was out of pocket for what he said, but it was just his breaking point. I just felt like he just wanted to say something at that point because Charles definitely touched a nerve with that. Sure.
All right. Before I swing this over to Ace, I just want to say this real quick. I didn't mention this. You all remember a while back. This was probably like 10 years ago, or however long ago it was, when Barkley criticized Kobe Bryant when they blew that 3-1 series lead against Phoenix, and they said, Kobe only took like 6 shots or some shit like that, and then he called Kobe selfish. Because he basically was trying to prove a point because people saying he's shooting too much and all that. So he was like, Kobe was like, yo, fuck, I'm not gonna take shots then. Let's see how this works. And he called him selfish, and Kobe got pissed about that. Kobe reached out to him by text message. Kobe ended up going on the show after that series, and he went on the show, and then they talked about it right then and there. It didn't get personal with Kobe. Kobe didn't even really say anything. Kobe was just like, you know what, whatever. I'm gonna holler at this dude myself. So,
Yeah.
I said that to say this, man. People are cut from different cloth. That's why I mess with Kobe, because Kobe has the mentality of some grown man shit. LeBron is so used to being pampered.
Wait a minute.
Stop, JG. Stop.
Do we not want to talk about how you snitching on Shaq though about some personal shit?
We not talking about after.
That's the personal stuff. Though.
We talking
but is it still? But did he not do the same
Bro,
thing?
we're not talking about practice.
We're not talking about that Kobe. I'm talking. I didn't really start liking Kobe Bryant until after Shaq left. You know what I mean? Because Kobe had to grow up mentally. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about.
Man, I like Kobe with the fro, bruh.
No, that Kobe was a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You see what Chris Childs did to him.
I like Kobe with the fro.
1-2 piece.
Listen to me. You see how he would, he would just tell certain players like, "Yo, don't talk to me right now, man. Get your game right before you come over here joking and bullshit." He had that mentality like, look, I want to win at all costs. Kobe was the ultimate competitor after Jordan left. So that's what I mean by that. Like, Kobe mindset was on some grown man shit. He didn't go all personal on Charles Barkley. Why? Because he learned from his mistakes with what he did with Shaq. You know what I mean? So
okay, but LeBron didn't have any mistakes though.
Yeah,
like
he does it all the time. LeBron does it all of the time.
We're talking about one
let's
instance.
Let's talk about when they lost to Dallas in the finals. And the reporter said, how do you feel about people like actually happy that you all left? Well, I still live my life. They got to go back to their lives. And you know what I'm saying? That's a bitch move, bro. That's a bitch move. That's what the shit I'm talking about. When LeBron gets attacked, either somebody has to come to the defense for him, or he hides up and he frogs up and he gets personal and he has to, he say a lot of shit. Oh, there's a new sheriff in town. Nigga, stop. Come on, man. I don't want to hear that shit, bro.
Not one, not two,
yeah,
not
all that
three,
shit
four.
LeBron does to himself, yo. A lot of that shit he does is self-inflicted. I'll never defend Kobe Bryant today because I'm not, a Kobe stan like some people are out here. But I'm not a LeBron head either. You know what I mean? Both of them have made mistakes, but I feel like from a mental standpoint, I would definitely pick Kobe over LeBron for handling the situation because they were both similar situations. Barkley called that man selfish. Barkley told LeBron he was whining, which in a sense he was because he went to the media with it. You get what I'm saying? He criticized Kobe for his play. He criticized LeBron for the shit that he said. LeBron was out there turning the ball over. He wasn't playing great either, but it's kind of like he threw his teammates under the bus. Kobe went on the set and they squashed it there. LeBron went to the media, screw Charles Barkley. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, man. So
maybe he didn't just want to talk to him.
He was bitch made.
I don't know. Look,
I mean, Ace, it's on you, bro.
Bro, all I'm gonna say is this about the whole like LeBron James, Charles Barkley thing. Like, I don't think that anything that Charles Barkley said necessarily was wrong. I just think that he clearly touched a nerve with LeBron. And do I think that LeBron handled it properly? No, I don't. If he would have said something that was relevant to what Charles Barkley was said, instead of attacking his character and his personal life and all of his mistakes that he did, then I'll be like, okay, cool, LeBron handled himself. But he didn't. He actually made himself look worse by saying personal stuff about Charles Barkley. And I think it was good that Charles Barkley was like, look, you're right. Like, what you said and everything like that, I mean, I have to admit, I did that. But my in my mind,
you're leaving out the good parts. He was funnier. He goes, "You forgot that I lost to somebody in Jeopardy," and
right.
yeah. But I'm just curious. I understand that LeBron was pissed and everything like that, and this is going to the point of what Flock was saying. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, a lot of shit that Kobe did, especially much when he was younger, was some bitch shit, of course, absolutely. But the mentality that Kobe developed towards the end of his career and made him to the player and person he is now, I just feel that he wouldn't, if he had that mentality, he would have went and go talk to Charles Barkley. He wouldn't have had to go to the media or anything like that, and he could have just went to go talk to him.
You know what I would have said if I was Barkley after that shit? I'd have been like, "Look at you, emotional." That's all I would say.
Right. That's what it was. He was in his feelings. You could tell he was triggered. That's exactly what it was. LeBron was triggered, and he felt some type of way, and so he decided to attack his Charles Barkley's character. Like, he could have easily been like, "Well, you ain't got no rings" or anything along those lines, but he didn't. So, whatever.
All right, look, let me go ahead and go now. Charles Barkley was 100% correct. And the reason why, forget touching nerves and all that, that LeBron felt that way is because he was absolutely right and he knew it. Because Skip Bayless talks trash all the time. He even makes more outrageous, outlandish, says about LeBron than Charles ever has. But when you hear the truth, 100%, if it is the whole confidence thing or if it's the, regardless of what it was that Shaq thought it was, that means he was right for LeBron to be that mad, period. So Charles was right in the end, and LeBron knows that he was right. So then he said it was an emotional response. I saw that on the chat. That's exactly what it was. He was triggered. He knew that Charles was 100% right, so he had to deflect. He had to get people away from that because that was his weakness in the end. That he touched the nerve. Forget touching the nerve. He was net on the what's it called? Dead. No, whatever. Head on the coffin, nail on the coffin, whatever. He was dead on, right?
Absolutely.
The team that he has, LeBron, was all him. He's the one that decided to let Moskoff go or Delly go because, I don't know, he didn't want them. He was more friends, I guess, with Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, Jefferson, and Shump. If you would have let them go, would you really have lost anything if you would have kept Moskoff and Delly? I mean, so in the end, the team that he has, and ultimately the team that he has is because of the big three. These contracts are sucking up the team. His contract, he has the biggest one right now, right? What is he making? 2 years, 100 million, was it? I mean, so he's half the payroll himself. So he can't sit there and say that they're not trying their hardest because in the end, they have no wiggle room.
They have the highest salary, highest paid salary of any team in the league, and they in the luxury tax too.
Of course.
And this is Cleveland we're talking about. That's not even a major city.
Right,
exactly.
Major city, you mean?
Not a city, period.
Major
third world country.
Third world country.
Right. Major village. But in the end, LeBron can't complain because he still has a big three. What he's really whining about is that he's playing a lot. But the thing is, the reason why the team is top heavy is because they have three superstars. When you look at any other team, let's look at the Thunder, for instance. They just lost Durant. Westbrook would kill to have a Kyrie Irving with him or a Kevin Love with him or a LeBron with him. He only has himself. Oladipo is his big two. I mean, come on. Carmelo's a good example. He never got a big three. What we have is a shadow of former players that you try to make a big three, but it's not a big three. Kyrie is regarding one of the top 3 point guards. Can we all agree on that with Kyrie right now? Top 3, right? Love, all right, he might not be, the top. I say maybe top 6.
He's an all-star. He's getting 20 and 10, so I don't know why he keep on cutting that dude, selling that dude short. He averages 20 and 10.
I mean, as far as today's concerned, power forward position, he's still up there, no doubt. And LeBron obviously is the best player on the planet, period. There's no other small forward or shooting guard or point guard, whatever he wants to play better than him right now, period. So he has a top 3 point guard, the number 1 player in the world, and then a top 6 power forward, and he's still complaining in the end. He can't do that. You can't have a big 3 in your bench, LeBron. You can't do it. He's going to have to suck it up and just play with that team. He won with that team last year, so he can't complain about that either. So
he had an excuse. He had an excuse in the finals the year before that, and that to me is still probably the best single performance ever in the NBA Finals, even though they lost to Golden State. That shit that he did and that was incredible. And they lost, and they still almost took it to 7 games. So I feel like this dude gets, he gets everything. He got the keys to the kingdom in the NBA, and it's like, damn, man, how much more do you need? Like, you got it. Like, this team is a reflection of what you said you wanted. He like, and I think they want him to spend unconditionally, and they've done just that for him.
So somebody just said that all he wants is a backup ball handler. But I mean, whenever the Kyle Korver trade went through, everybody in social media thought, oh, it's not fair. Oh, now they're going to have the super team. You can't, I mean, who are you going to get? Darren Williams? That's going to make it even more, look like they're just pandering for nothing in the end. You're adding pieces that you don't need.
Were they working out players like Kirk Heinrich, Lance Stevenson, who else?
And Jordan Farmar.
Yep. Oh my God, Jordan Farmar.
Jordan Farmar of all people.
It was somebody else too. I can't think. I can't think of who it is. But yeah, it was a few guys that they were working out with the team, I know.
Hey, you
Nate
know who
Robinson,
they should have got Yogi. Should have got Yogi.
And Mario Chalmers. That's
Mario Chalmers. Yeah,
former player that played with him. And I know Nate Robinson trying to come back in the league, but I don't think that's a good fit for them because he's not like a distributor. Nate Robinson's like instant offense.
He's a scorer. Yeah.
He's like how he's just a more explosive version of how Isaiah Thomas is now. He just can't shoot as good as Isaiah. So Rondo too. What are you talking about? Rondo played for the Bulls. Nigga, shut up.
Talking about who they might trade for. Rondo. I heard Rondo and Darren Williams are the two hot ones.
No,
they ain't trade. Rondo got 2 years on that deal. That's gonna be too hard for him. Rondo waiting for them to buy him out so he can go sign with whoever he wants. They can't. They don't have enough. They don't have enough. Either pieces or they'll be giving up shit and stuff. I don't see the Bulls making that deal with Cleveland. They not.
Well, one of the biggest thing about these names that we just threw out there too is they have to sign them on a 10-day contract because that's all they can afford, right? I mean, their cap situation.
Their cap situation is too bad, man. That's why I said they dug themselves in that hole, and they just got to get themselves out of it, man. That's all it is. They got to get themselves out of it. So if you were saying, my bad, bro, if you was just saying to make a trade for him, I thought you were saying he was a free agent. I thought, I was like, damn, dude, you ain't paying attention to the league. My bad if that's what you was trying to say. Let's move on. We'll go into some of these NBA trade rumors. Of course, the number one person whose name's been mentioned non-stop.
My boy.
Yo boy, Carmelo Anthony. So since that's your boy, Siggy, you can start off talking about how do you feel in these possible landing spots, which included. I also got a video up on that too, talking about the whole Carmelo drama, man. If y'all want to go check that out on YouTube, you know what I'm saying.
All right. So the Carmelo to the Cleveland Cavaliers, I actually think that's what sparked LeBron's anger. I think it did. I think that the Cavaliers rejected the trade for Kevin Love, and they didn't run it by LeBron, and I got a feeling that's what started. I think the timeline shows that that's probably what happened. But the Cavaliers are probably like, why are we trading for for somebody that's playing your position in the end? Now you're starting to.
And also 4 years older, 4 or 5 years older.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because I know the money matches and stuff like that, but it doesn't make sense for both teams in the end. Because even if we get Love, the Knicks, Porzingis is playing that position. So why would you want somebody like that, right? So then, all the drama happened, obviously, and now the latest rumor is that Melo might still get traded to the Cavs, but without Love. And I don't see how that's possible because in the NBA, in order for these trades to go through, you have to make the money make sense. Who are you trading? Are we going to really take Shumpert, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, Channing Frye? Are we taking all these players just for Melo? I mean, that it doesn't even make sense for the Cavs at the end because then what do they have? You talk about no bench. You're gonna have nobody playing behind them. I just don't get why. They're even talking to each other at this point. I know that Melo and LeBron are friends, but there comes a business decision that on both sides that you gotta realize, looking at each other like, you know what, this makes no sense. Now the Clippers part, I was more angry about hearing that rumor because we weren't getting Blake Griffin. I want a player at least decent. I'm not taking no Austin Rivers or Felton for Melo. It's just not going to happen. So Melo's going to have to die a Nick at this point because I can't see myself paying all this money for a somewhat star. He might not be the same star as he used to be, but I can't imagine getting trash in return. I don't want to be like the Nuggets. So I want to get a decent piece that you can build around, at least an up-and-coming rising star. So if we talk to Philadelphia, I'm more than happy to listen to all them pieces there because they got pieces that I can see them building around in the end. Whether it's Noel, Embiid, or Simmons, any of them, I'll take.
You said that makes more sense to me. You said they got trash in return for Carmelo?
Who, Denver?
Yeah. Actually, they got some good. The Knicks were at fault for what they did, and I blame them for this wholeheartedly because Carmelo could have just signed with them in the offseason and they still had enough cap space to sign him. They gave away like Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, Mozgov, and some picks to get that dude. So they gave up the farm to get Carmelo there when they could have had all those players with him coming over there if he would have just rolled out that season. That's where the Knicks went wrong. And then the second thing they went wrong by doing was by actually re-signing him, because he said, man, yo, I need a no trade and all this other, and that's why they dealing with the mess they dealing with now, because now they can't unload him unless he approves it. And the only teams he's gonna approve going to is the Clippers or the Cavaliers.
Yep. None of those teams work.
Yeah, and I mean,
none of those teams work.
And it's more likely to happen with LA than Cleveland, because Cleveland's not gonna be stupid and give up all that. If it's just for Kevin Love, Cavaliers still like, nah, we good, man, because this dude is a ball stopper. You know what I mean? He can't defend. His body's broken down. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I wouldn't make that move either if I was Cleveland. I stated that the Celtics would have been the best move because the Celtics had picks and a couple young players. They could have gave up Amir Johnson and maybe Marcus Smart or what's the dude name with the dreads?
Crowder.
Yeah, Jay Crowder. You know what I mean? And the salaries probably would have matched, and then they probably could have gave them like that New Jersey pick that they have, because they getting that pick from the Nets this season. So
you know what?
The Celtics will end up having the number 2 seed in the East, and then at the end of the year, they're going to end up having at least a top 4 pick in the draft. So
there's rumors Flock, that your Bulls might trade Butler to the Celtics for Crowder.
I heard about it. Yeah. So
I think they got shut down too, because they're still trying to build around Butler. So I don't know about that.
So that would be ideal, but the Celtics don't want to deal with Melo either. They like, yo, this dude gonna come over here and mess up our chemistry, mess up our flow, and all of that. So right now, it's just so I said, the most intriguing, the most possible likely move is that Clippers move, and I don't know if that's gonna happen either. Like you said, they probably just stuck with this dude. He's gonna die.
I think we're stuck with him
because Melo had a chance to come to Chicago, but he didn't want to take less money. He wanted to get paid. He wanted to cash out. That's the difference. Like when you try to put him in that conversation with LeBron and D Wade and all them, you can't, because look what LeBron did. Look what Wade did. They sacrificed money in order to bring each other there and get guys around them so they can win. Melo's not willing to do that. He wants to cash out. He wants to cash out and then say, "Yo, my heart in New York. I want to stay in New York. I'm invested in New York and all this." And Phil Jackson, like, man, why don't you just go that way, motherfucker? Like, go that way. You know what
yeah, that way.
Yeah, that's what Phil is doing. So I don't know, man. I just had to go in on that one. My bad. Y'all can finish.
I mean, you know that he has a relationship with the Lakers. What can he convince Melo to go to LA? As far as not the Clippers, but the Lakers.
LA be stupid enough. To pay for him too.
I can see the Lakers making that move, but what does the Lakers have to give in return?
Yeah, I don't know that either. Unless they give
up the guy.
What they gonna give up? Right? What they gonna give up?
Russell would be the only name that I would. Randall, Randall maybe,
Randall,
but if they want a center, yeah.
But I wouldn't. I mean, if I'm Melo, I want Randall there.
Yeah.
I want Randall there. I mean, Carmelo, let's face it, Carmelo's body is breaking down. He can't chase around a Kevin Durant or a Kawhi Leonard and stuff like that. So you got to make him like a stretch 4. So, I mean, you can't have him out here chasing these small fours. He's going to get lit up, especially in the West. He's going to get torched.
Stuck. I'm telling you, he's stuck. Yeah. Go ahead, Ace.
I mean, I don't really have. You guys pretty much hit the nail on the hammer. Like, I mean, there's not really much else to say. I mean, it'd be interesting to see Melo in LA? It's not going to happen. It won't. But LA will give all their damn money for it. But we don't really have much to offer. We don't.
Hey, somebody said he need to go to the Nets if he want to stay in New York.
True. He would stay in New York.
Hey, you know what? I'll take Brooklyn. I'll take the.
I think you want Brook Lopez. Yeah, you want Brook. Man, these trade rumors are annoying. And it's mostly annoying just due to the fact that Carmelo only wants to go to specific teams and none of those teams work. That's what really makes me upset. Like, there could be other teams like you mentioned, Flock, and when you mentioned it does make perfect sense for him to go to the Celtics. I mean, it's not far from New York, so I feel like that would be a better situation. Like, Melo needs to expand the teams that he's willing to go to, because those teams don't work for him at all, especially what the possibilities could be. Like, I feel like it's a lose-lose either way. Like, you're trading positions away, and it still doesn't make anything better. Porzingis came out and said, I still want to play with Melo. He said, I still have things to learn from him. So he said, I want to play with Melo for a long time. Porzingis is still developing. He's had a little bit of injuries this year, and he's been sick as well. But Porzingis is still. I feel like he's going to develop into definitely a top 10 power forward if he keeps going. Because that man, he is a unicorn for sure. But it's just the teams that Melo wants to go to that just make it pisses me off. Like none of those teams work at all.
No Knicks fan wants to hear us helping the Celtics either, though. So I can't even.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So Melo needs to again expand who he wants to go to. Phil wants to drop him off.
He don't give a fuck. He don't care.
No, Phil Jackson don't care. He's not working with the offense that he wants to run. Melo doesn't work with any offense, period, any offensive scheme. If it doesn't involve him holding on to the ball and shooting whenever he wants to with the jab steps. So it just, I feel like he's just going to stay in New York unless he actually wants to go to some other teams besides those two. Don't go to those teams. Why are the Cavs, like, what do the Cavs in New York even have to talk about? It says that they're still talking. What are y'all talking about? Nothing works. Nothing
really does work. And even and especially the situation where they're saying now where okay, let's try to make the trade without Love. I mean, what that doesn't even make sense.
No,
nobody.
So just dead that shit, yo.
Cleveland needs a backup point guard and they need a center, a true center.
We don't need another small forward. LeBron has that position down packed.
All right, so let's talk about then the Darren Williams to Cavs. We touched up on it in the last segment. Do you think what makes sense on that one? What can the Mavs get in return?
I mean, from a salary standpoint,
nobody.
Nobody if they just doing a salary dump. But then again,
it'll have to be Tristan Thompson.
Who does Cleveland have?
They're not giving him up.
And that's equal trade value for like. You think they're gonna trade Tristan Thompson?
I think that'll be the only name that can make it make sense.
For a backup point guard,
they don't need another big man.
Best rebounder for a backup.
Yeah, I know you don't do that. But Friday's been pretty good whenever he's in there though.
Channing Frye's been decent, but I still don't think that makes sense either for real. And then Darren Williams has also been off. He's been in injury trouble too. So it's like, damn, Darren, you got to show us as well that you're fine, that you can actually be a decent backup point guard. So I don't know, man.
He wanted Felton bad. That's who he wanted. That's who LeBron wanted over there, Raymond Felton. But my thing is, man, when you co-sign for all these players to get all this big money. You lead an organization with little to no wiggle room to make any of those knick-knack deals because, like Shaq says, it's not the star players that win those championships for, it's the others. You know what I mean? It's the other guys. It's not going to be LeBron that win it all the time. It's not going to be Kyrie that win it all the time. It's going to have to be a J.R. Smith that comes out and play good defense on Klay Thompson or somebody else, a Della Vadova that comes out and locks down Curry. And even when Kevin Love was out there tiptoeing, trying to stay in front of Steph Curry a couple times, he did a good ass job. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, he didn't do shit in the finals. I just like, if he was on my team after we got them rings, I'd have looked at it like, you still ain't do
I think though, I get what Shaq was saying in that part, but a lot of these names that he was throwing out became that. You know what I mean? It's not like they knew, like that who Kyle Korver is, or some of these players now. You know these like Felton. You know who he is now, but you want them on your team. But the Bulls didn't know Kukoc was going to become like that whenever he was playing with them. He just became it. So in the end, it's easy to look back and be like, oh, you had Kerr and you had Kukoc. Nobody wanted them in the draft, so they got them. You know what I mean? It's not like they went out and got them. They just happened to be there.
It's just like we were talking about when it came to Brady, and how he makes players look good.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you don't expect any of these players to be awesome, but they end up being those role players. They develop into those role players, exactly. And it is it's coaching definitely, but it is because of who you have on your team. Like you had freaking Jordan and Pippen, and if you see them playing well, it's going to motivate you to play better as well. So that's how they also
they won last year with J.R. Smith and Shumpert. Now how come all of a sudden they're not good enough? Now we need somebody to be better than them. I mean, they wanted these were the same guys that you would be thinking of. Oh, look, you need a Shumpert at the end to actually play and get 20 points one game against the Warriors, etc. That's something that happened, and now all of a sudden you're throwing that away. I mean, that's the reason why I don't think it makes sense for LeBron.
Yeah, like Korver again was a desperation pick. It didn't make any sense at all. They literally just did that because J.R. Smith was. I
think they were just hoping that he's going to catch, lightning in a bottle. That he'll be, the 3-point, guy that he's going to come in there and just. They thought he was going to be Mike Miller, pretty much.
Korver works well off of screens. Korver is a great shooter. You can't deny that, but he works better off of screens. That's what they did all the time with the Atlanta offensive schemes. That doesn't work. They don't play the same offense in Cleveland, so he doesn't really work. He gets a lot of open looks.
But either he was falling apart. He's just his career is just going down the toilet, I think.
Yeah, like Cavs drive and kick. Like that's their niche, but. Like, I don't know, Kyle Korver isn't as good of a catch and shoot person more than, getting off of screens. I don't know. Korver's he's streaky. He's definitely streaky, but
Very,
it
very
didn't make any sense.
It only worked in Atlanta because he was able to get all the looks because he was the only person they had on that spot.
And they stretched the floor. I mean, you had freaking Paul Millsap and Al Horford, and both of them can shoot threes too. So, like, everybody was out there. It's like, what are you going to do? Pick your poison. I don't know. It's weird, but I feel like, somebody said in the chat too, they really just need to get a free agent. I don't feel like making any trades for either players or money.
We talked about Yogi Ferrell for the Mavs. They're out there.
Hold on, we talking a lot about Carmelo Anthony. There's other players that's names are being mentioned too, as far as being traded.
Drew Holiday.
I mean, not just him. You got DeMarcus Cousins, whose name's been thrown out there as well.
I thought he was having this big monster contract with the Kings. Not anymore.
I mean, his name is still out there. You never know, man. You don't know you never know what these teams are gonna do, because he's always he always seems to be a distraction with them. So I mean, his name has been thrown out there. It's possible that he the Wizards came up that he could end up going to the Wizards or something like that. I mean, it's just talk, it's speculation at this point. Trade deadline is like in a couple weeks. It's like right after the All-Star break. So I mean, you got other players out here that's being positioned to possibly move, and then you seen the stuff with Derrick Rose saying, like, with this rebuild, he could be leaving. He probably won't be back after this season. I said that too. I said he's only going.
I don't think anybody thought he was going to stay anyways. He's too much money.
Yeah, he's not gonna. Nobody's gonna pay him the money that he wants to. That he wants. You got the Warriors. They let go of Anderson Varejao. So, I mean, that's one of LeBron's guys. So,
yeah, because JaVale McGee is playing now.
Yeah,
he's actually playing.
They like, man, we don't even need you, fella.
Right.
So, yeah, man.
It's interesting. I think that DeMarcus Cousins is I would hope that he would eventually get traded. We were just talking about that before the show. Sacramento Kings, that was such a terrible organization when it comes to pick. Like, they give away so many great players, and you still fail to actually build something good around DeMarcus Cousins. I don't even know why he's been there for that long. Like, he's always seemed to be frustrated at his situation. Like, DeMarcus Cousins is going to get points regardless, and he's developed a three now. Like, DeMarcus Cousins is a freaking beast, but it's like, I kind of feel like it's still up to him. Like, if you're getting frustrated, why don't you try to leave then? But I feel like the Kings, out of all the people that they did let go, I kind of feel like they want to just hold on to him.
When he had what was that fucking coach? Carmelo and them old coach. Goddamn, I'll be forgetting these motherfuckers. What's your name, nigga?
Was it George Karl?
George Karl, yeah. When it was George Karl, I can understand it because he had issues with a lot of players. He's a dickhead. You seen that shit that he did with
I've heard things about him. Yeah.
He's a dickhead for real. I can understand it because none of those players liked him. I mean, he was an asshole. But now you got a good coach over there, but they came over there from the Grizzlies, and you got a good coach over there. And if you still getting into it, you still doing it. It's just more mental. And then it's just more mental with that dude, man. Like, he's the best center to me in the league, but only a handful of teams is gonna want to deal with that shit that comes along with it, that whole circus act. Like, that dude's like bipolar, yo, for real. Like, one minute he cool, next minute he just spaz out for no reason. Also, I just seen that Zach LaVine got a torn ACL too, so he's done for the year.
Ooh,
damn.
Well, is that your boy? Did you have him on your team?
Zach LaVine, y'all.
Nope.
Okay, I thought you had him.
He ain't on my team. No, he's actually on the dude's team on playing this week.
Okafor's name's been thrown around trades also out of Philadelphia.
Philly needs to dump off them bigs, definitely.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? It's funny because the Sixers have been talking about trading one of their centers for a long time, and they never did because everybody gets hurt.
That's exactly the point. Like, I'm surprised they came on to Embiid for so long. Embiid came in. This is first year playing. Nerlens came in. It was hurt. Like, it was ridiculous how many bigs they picked up, and they just got hurt.
It won't be
before Okafor. Before Okafor and Nerlens.
He's went on record by saying he isn't happy with the minutes he's getting and stuff like that. So
yeah, once Embiid actually started playing, boy, you ain't getting nothing.
And the funny thing is, Okafor was the one that they thought was going to replace Embiid, right? Because it was Embiid first, he got hurt right away, never saw him, and then Okafor was picked next.
Yeah, he didn't play for 2 years.
Yeah,
he got drafted. So yeah, Roger that. Trust the process. I guess the process is working. Philadelphia is definitely an exciting team to watch right about now. I
like watching Embiid play.
Still ain't gonna do shit.
Well, wait until Simmons comes on, then it'll be fun to watch.
I'm waiting on that. I'm honestly waiting on that.
I want to see him. I mean, my thing is Ben Simmons gonna live up to all this hype, or is he gonna be another Michael Beasley?
Yeah, that's a good question. Or what's his face? What happened to Anthony Bennett? I heard he got cut already from.
Oh, we knew he wasn't gonna be shit when they drafted. I'm like, who?
I can't. I mean, can you believe? All right, here's the funny thing about when LeBron left the Cavs. The Cavs had like 3 first-round picks in a row or 2, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Kyrie was the only one that was good, but man, they could have had so
Wiggins.
much. They could have been so much better.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they actually made the right choices and then LeBron went back?
I want to say that I kind of want to say that they did the right thing because they got an established guy, but could they have won with Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love's spot? I'm not sure. We'll never know. It'll just be all speculation at this point. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to judge.
Because to be honest with you, has Wiggins really been the difference maker? Even in Minnesota right now.
No, it's been Carl Anthony Towns.
Now he's starting to come on though. He's starting to come on now lately.
He is. But Cat, he's still on the show.
But this is his third
Minnesota.
year. This is his 3rd year in the league, and when you're first #1 pick, your name should be in the All-Star talks. You know what I mean? By your 3rd season, you should be.
We've seen some sparks, and he's even gotten a co-sign from Kobe. Kobe was like, "Yeah, he reminds me of a younger me," but he still hasn't been as consistent to be in that All-Star talk. It's been Karl Anthony Towns all this year. Karl Anthony Towns has been averaging like 30 points.
Player Karl Anthony Towns.
True.
Anthony Davis needs to leave. He had a chance to leave, but he wanted to cash out too.
Yeah, he's also injury prone. But like I said on that, I don't think he's on the trading block though. He's just in purgatory. But they want to get they want to get Drew Holiday though. Drew Holiday been balling out this year since AD been hurt.
Hey, I hope they can start
getting Ace.
Did you look at the Discord?
Oh no, man.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, he does. Yeah,
he bounced.
Yeah, he had an appointment. So. Yeah,
he had to go get that Sonic the Hedgehog Mega Man cut in the back of his head. He taking it back to the 90s, baby.
But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I hope that some teams make some moves. It's going to be definitely interesting. But I'm tired of hearing about Melo. They just need to mention already. What the fuck?
Oh shit! All right. So I guess we got anything else we want to cover before we wrap this up, man? So everybody. Any other
sports topic?
Did y'all want to quickly talk about All-Star roster and all?
Did we?
Who got snubbed in the All-Star thing? Did anybody get snubbed that should have made it? I see Carmelo didn't make it. He shouldn't have anyway.
Nah, he shouldn't have made it anyways. Not a good dude.
Anybody that should have made the All-Star game? I mean, besides the obvious, as far as like Russell Westbrook should have been starting instead of coming off the bench in the All-Star game over Stephen Curry.
That was the only one that I was mad about.
Lillard didn't get it right.
Yeah, but that West is point guard heavy, man.
Yeah, they're way too point guard heavy.
Chris Paul, he was injured already, so he wasn't gonna make it. But
Embiid,
everybody say Embiid, yeah.
Embiid.
I don't think so. I don't think so because until Embiid starts playing
you gotta play.
The biggest one for me was Rudy Gobert. He was, because he's been dominant the whole season.
Yeah, but are they really gonna have 2 Utah Jazz players playing?
Gordon Hayward,
because I think Gordon Hayward was a little more deserving, but at the same time, how many centers do they? I mean, they got centers like they got DeAndre Jordan and who else in the West at center playing? DeMarcus Cousins, right? So I feel like that's enough. I think in the East, they don't have. I think in the East, somebody got snubbed out of the East. A center.
Dwight Howard?
Fuck no. I can't think of who the hell it is though, man. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's a center that should have made it. I just honestly can't think of who it is. Andre Drummond. That's who it is. Andre Drummond should have made the All-Star. Should have made the All-Star team. But Kemba Walker made it for the first time. Shout out to him. He's been balling. I seen him put Steph Curry on his heels.
Nah, it ain't Whiteside. Whiteside been hurt too.
Did Towns make it? Did he get snubbed?
Did he make it?
I'm pretty
sure
I don't think he made it.
That's a snub for sure.
I'm pretty sure he did.
If he didn't make it, then that's a snub too out of the West. Zaza Pachulia. Yeah.
Ask the chat. Hey, chat. Who did Cat make it?
I don't know. He might not have.
I'm looking at it right now. Let me. I mean, look.
Because you just named two centers, and you know they're real picky with centers. They'll have Cat not make it just because he's a center.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. Because he definitely should have made it.
Yep.
Oh no, because they picked the Tetakumbo to start. Is he on the
That's the East.
Yeah. But who's in the backcourt though for the East?
I don't think Karl Anthony Towns made it.
Crazy. That's crazy, man.
All right. Well, there might be another snub.
Who are the participants in the? I mean, a 3-point shootout. It's pretty much the same dudes you see every year.
Steph said he's not doing it.
Man, he don't need to be. He ain't got nothing else to prove. He proved it.
Right.
The what you call it? The dunk contest. You got Aaron Gordon coming back. Of course, Zach LaVine won't be in any more dunk contests. He got the torn ACL. You got what's this dude name from Phoenix?
Booker.
No. It's a dude that came from the D League. He came from the D League.
It's Derrick Jones Jr.
Derrick Jones, yeah. He got some bounce. I mean, if anybody gonna get Aaron Gordon to run for his money, it's gonna be him. And who else made it? Shit. I actually wasn't even gonna talk about that.
You got Aaron Gordon, DeAndre Jordan, Derrick Jones, and Glenn Robinson.
And Glenn Robinson the third, yeah.
Oh, he's actually Glenn Robinson? Wow.
Yeah, big dog son. So those are your slam dunk participants. I thought Larry Nance Jr. was gonna actually be in it.
But he's been injury prone too.
Yeah. So
I thought he probably got out.
Yeah, so like I said, I didn't have this up in front of me, so that's why I couldn't remember who was all in it. Because normally I write it down, but we really wasn't gonna talk about this because this was supposed to be done like fairly quickly. So there you have it. Make your picks. We all know Aaron Gordon should win this, barring anything stupid happening. But don't sleep on Derrick Jones. I seen him in the D League dunk contest. He's pretty nasty, yo. So that's
because I was sleeping on Aaron Gordon last year. I didn't know he could dunk like that.
I remember tweeting that up to people. I'm like, yo, don't sleep on Gordon. He got some stuff because I seen him when he was in the college dunk contest when he was in Arizona.
Yeah, D-Man told me that. I was like, I must have been asleep. I ain't peep.
He said nobody over 6'8" should be in it. I beg to differ. Look at what Dwight Howard did. I mean, do your homework. Look at what Sean Kemp used to do. So Sean Kemp was that dude.
Kemp.
I mean,
man.
you gotta do your homework, man.
I don't know necessarily. DeAndre Jordan got some moves.
That's me and you. That's our time now.
Yeah, we old, bro. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much, man. We just gonna wrap it up with that, man. Hopefully, y'all all enjoyed this stuff, man. We gonna kick it out of here. JG, you want to say peace out to the people?
Yeah, appreciate y'all coming through, and we out.
All right, Siggy, closing statement.
Yeah. Once again, I shout out to Kat for being Dominican. You know, that's me too, Dominican. Also, Horford's Dominican for the chat. Somebody mentioned Dominican players. There you go.
All right. Well, I'm not Dominican, so shout out to myself. We're gonna end it with this, man. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. We'll get another one to y'all when some decent news. When some decent news come about. Appreciate everybody in the Twitch stream watching this live, everybody in YouTube, you know what I'm saying, sound off in the comments. And we out, y'all. Peace.
Bye.